What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So, man, it's time to get excited. The NBA season officially starts back tomorrow. That will be the start of the regular season, and with it being the start of the regular season, I decided to start this week off with a prediction of all of the Eastern Conference teams' standings. So the reason I decided to do this is because I wanted to definitely give my thoughts on where I feel like all these teams line up before the season actually starts, and then once the season does end, or once we do actually make it to the playoffs, I want to see if my predictions were correct. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. But before we do get into the video, I do want to let you guys know that we about to be dropping videos daily, man. I believe the only day I won't drop a video is probably going to be on Sunday or Saturday, but for the most part, we will be dropping videos daily. We turning shit up because the NBA season has started, and just so you guys do know, tomorrow will be the episode for the Western Conference. So if your favorite team is in the Western Conference, be on the lookout for that video tomorrow before the NBA games start. But let's get right into the video. Alright, so we all switched over, as you guys can see, and y'all see it, man. Y'all see it. I know y'all excited to see this again. The tier list, man. It hit different. I haven't did a tier list in a couple. I definitely haven't did a tier list in a couple. And I'm gonna zoom in so y'all can see this a little better. Yeah, that's the best that we gonna do. And y'all see the different categories. We got title or bust, contenders, good story, nothing beyond that, pretenders, rebuilding, perpetual mediocrity, blow it all up, and relegate to G League. And y'all see all the teams. Like I said, this is the Eastern Conference standings prediction. And just so you guys know, although it doesn't have the actual numbers for the standings, this will be my prediction on the standings. So if I have a team right here, let's say that I have the Philadelphia 76ers right here at the number one spot, that will mean that I believe that they will be the number one seed for the conference, just so you guys know. Also, I will be referencing back to the standings for the year prior, as you guys can see. Shout out to ESPN.com, just so that I can, make a decent list, because I don't want to just throw anybody on here. You need some type of reference point. So I will be referring to their list as well, the previous year's list for the standings as well. But without further ado, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. So, when it comes to title or bust teams, I believe, in my opinion, two teams definitely come into mind. And as the number one seed for this list, I got the Boston Celtics. Now, last year's team that was the number one seed was the Milwaukee Bucks, as we just seen. But me personally, I think the Boston Celtics will be the number one seed. They pretty much kept most of their core players. They did lose Marcus Smart. That's tough. They did lose Malcolm Brogdon. That's tough. But they replaced those two players with Drew Holiday and also Kristaps Porzingis, and I do feel like that definitely puts them over the edge. Now, we do have to see how good they can be, but I definitely think if you just look at their starting lineup, man, like, they're so stacked. my voice cracking and all, but anyways, that team is just so stacked, bro. Like, if you really just think about it, that team is so stacked, and I think they will be the number one seed. And the second team in the title or bust category, I definitely got the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I got them right there because they did acquire Damian Lillard. I got them as my number two seed. It'll be interesting to see how the Damian Lillard, Giannis Antetokounmpo pick and roll is guarded by a lot of these opposing teams because it's going to be so deadly. You got Giannis going towards the rim at high speeds, pretty much a freight train after he provides the pick to Damian Lillard. And if you don't try to stop Giannis, you got Damian Lillard who could pull up from three from anywhere on the court. So it should definitely be interesting, and I definitely think that this team is going to be a powerhouse this year. The only question I have is defensively. They do have a new coach. I believe Frank Vogel is their new coach, and it'll be interesting to see how this team plays defensively. Damian Lillard, he can kind of be a liability defensively, so it should be interesting. But those are the two teams I got at title or bust. All right, so as the third seed in the Eastern Conference, this is where it gets very interesting because a couple of teams, they have potential. A couple of teams, they have some turmoil. And I believe the safest bet in regards to this is to go with the Cavaliers. Now, the reason I say the Cavaliers is because for the most part, they kept their original team, and they don't have any, they don't have any BS going on behind the scenes, such as teams like Philadelphia and other teams of that nature. So I feel like it's just safe to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And let's switch over. Let's go over to the 2022-2023 standings to see what they had. And looks about accurate. I'm sticking with the Cavs, man. I'm sticking with the Cavs. But let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. All right, so for the fourth seed, this is where things are definitely going to start getting interesting. This is tough. This might be a wild card. Dead ass. This might be a crazy wild card. A lot of people might say I'm tripping. But I kinda got the feeling that the Nets might show us something this year. I really do got the feeling that the Nets might show us something this year. And like I said, I know people gonna say, the Nets, really? But I just got that feeling, bro. I got that feeling. And I'm gonna put them at contenders because just based on what I've seen from the preseason, it looks like Ben Simmons does have his head back in the game. He was looking pretty good offensively and defensively during the preseason. Of course, you have Mikal Bridges, who did have a pretty good end of the year last year, or postseason last year. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how good this team will be. As you guys can see, they were the 6th seed last year, but I do see them actually moving up. Another thing you do want to notice that Nets team, they really didn't get built up until, the second half of the season. So this does give a lot of those new players more time to mesh and, build some type of chemistry. So I think the Nets might be a team to look out for this year. As the final contender for this year, I have the Miami Heat. Now, I got the Miami Heat because you just can't sleep on this team. Like, you cannot sleep on this team at all. If Jimmy Butler on the team, you got to expect them to at least make it to the playoffs and at least cause one upset. They done did that, I say, these last 3 years. They done made some type of upset, and every time you doubted them, they always made it to the playoffs. Now, of course, they team not as, just star heavy as the other teams, but besides that, you just can't doubt this team, bro. You just can't. So I got them as the 5th seed for this year. Now, as the 6th seed, a lot of people not gonna like this, I got the 76ers now. Man, let's talk about it. The reason I got the 76ers as the 6th seed is just because it's too much it's too much BS going on with the 76ers. As we know, James Harden, we don't even know if he's going to play or not. And due to that, I feel like that's definitely going to affect this team when it comes to their chemistry, especially if James Harden does end up playing. It should definitely affect their chemistry. And just because of all the outside noise and, just not knowing if James Harden is even going to be on the team or not, I feel like that's going to hold this team back. And another reason I got them at good story but nothing beyond that is because if Joel Embiid does end up proving everybody wrong, as we know he was the MVP last year, but if he does end up willing this team to a top 4 seed, then that's definitely going to be a good story. But I don't see him getting past, especially these two teams and possibly the Cavs. I don't see them getting past these three teams, and of course, Miami, they always can upset any team. So that's my thoughts when it comes to that. Let's move on to the 7th seed. Now, for the 7th seed, I got to actually take a look at the 2022-2023 regular season. Who would I have as the 7th seed? Last year, it was actually the Atlanta Hawks. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with the Kings. I think I'm gonna go with the Kings, man. I mean, not Kings, damn, the Knicks. My bad, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Knicks. I got them as good story, nothing beyond that. The reason I got them at that position is because, the New York Knicks, they definitely, they definitely surprised a lot of people last year, and I think it's going to be the same thing this year. They will surprise a lot of people. They didn't really make too many changes to their roster, so I do expect them to be consistent and end up around that 6 to 7 seed area. I don't think that their roster is better than any of these other teams' rosters. Maybe the Nets, but like I said, I feel like the Nets gonna be that dark horse. That's just my opinion. But other than that, I do think that they will have a good story. They may end up, possibly being a top 4 seed and having that quote-unquote good story. But other than that, I don't think that they are going to make too much noise or that they got a chance against these two teams specifically. Of course, they beat the Cavs last year, but these two teams, I don't think they stand a chance. So, good story, but nothing beyond it. All right, let's keep moving. Right below them as the 8th seed, I have the Atlanta Hawks. Now, the Atlanta Hawks have been a team that I've been very high on the past couple of years. But one thing they done always did is that they have disappointed me every time. Every time. I always feel like they had a great roster, a well-balanced roster, but time after time after time again, they have disappointed me. And I think that's going to be the same thing this year. They're going to be a middling team. That's what I expect. And you never know. They could pull off, I believe it was a 2021 playoff run where they go crazy during the playoffs. But I just don't know, man. I done lost faith in the Atlanta Hawks. I still like they roster a lot, but I done lost faith in them. So it is what it is on them. I got them as pretenders. Right behind them, let's take a look at the 2022-2023 rankings real quick. Who do I think is going to be better? I think I might. This might upset some people, bro. This might actually upset some people, but I think I'm going to do this. I think I might go Indiana Pacers over them. Damn. Am I wilding doing that? Am I wilding? Let me take a look. I might be wilding. I might. I mean, to me, it's between the Chicago Bulls, the Toronto Raptors, and the Indiana Pacers. Like, with the Chicago Bulls, you have two bona fide stars in DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, but I don't know. I think I gotta change it, man. I think I gotta change it. I'm gonna go Chicago Bulls pretenders. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Chicago Bulls, of course, you got two stars and DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. You know, that's a solid start. You know, a solid combo of guards. But other than that, it's a lot to be desired when it comes to this team. But I do think that they can at least be in that play-in tournament range. Right below them, you got the Indiana Pacers. I like their roster. They could possibly go up to the pretenders area, but I do feel like they just need a couple of their young players to develop a little more. You know, you got Tyrese Halliburton, who is going to be a star. He has that star potential, great passer, efficient as fuck. Like, what else do you want from a guard when it comes to him? You know, you got players like, you got players like Turner, who is a great shot blocker, can space the floor as well. And I think that they can be decent. I can see them, like I was saying before, I can see them possibly being around that 8th seed, 7th seed. But I'm going to put them at the 10th seed as of right now. Alright, that's the 11th seed. I got the Toronto Raptors. I definitely got the Toronto Raptors. They really shouldn't be in rebuilding. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in perpetual mediocrity. The reason I got them right there is just because, you know, like, they don't really got too many young players that you could put your hopes on. And it's like, they got a lot of decent pieces, but it's just that their offense always tends to be lackluster. To make matters worse, they did lose Fred VanVleet. So I just don't expect this team to be that good. Let's keep moving. Washington Wizards. Interesting. Should I put them right here? I might actually have to put them above the Toronto Raptors, actually. Because, you know, I just seen my boy Jordan Poole ball. I don't know. Damn. I think I'm going to stick them. I'm going to have them behind the Toronto Raptors. I do feel like they may be kind of mediocre as well. They don't really have too many good young pieces, in my opinion. Of course, they got Jordan Poole. He should definitely help their offense. And it'll be interesting to see how the Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole pick and roll is. But other than that, I don't feel like they got too much to look forward to be honest, besides that. But you never know. I could see that Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole pick and roll, and, you know, just duo being explosive offensively. So you never know. But I got to put them right there. Charlotte Hornets. Should they blow it up? Actually, do I even think that the Charlotte Hornets are going to be that good? I don't think that they are going to be better than the Detroit Pistons. And that's saying something because, as we can see, the Detroit Pistons were the worst team in the league last year. Well, one of them. In the Eastern Conference, to be specific. And I actually think that Detroit may be better than the Charlotte Hornets this year. I really do. And the reason I say that is just because with the Charlotte Hornets, they got too many players that's, you know, just doing too much. And by that I mean, you know, you got Kai Jones, who you don't even know who is going to play this year. Of course, you got Miles Bridges, who isn't going to play this year. So it's like they haven't really gotten that much better in a sense. And you got Brandon Miller, who, for the most part, I don't believe is even starting for the preseason. So with that being said, it just raises a whole bunch of flags. And with that being said, I think the Detroit Pistons will be better than both the Orlando Magic and the Charlotte Hornets, which is crazy. Right behind them, I got the Orlando Magic, man. The Orlando Magic, they roster just not that special, man. They don't got a lot of good young pieces, to be honest. You know, they got a lot of younger guys who were top prospects, but just didn't work out, in my opinion. So I got them right there. And as the worst team in the league, I think I'm gonna go with the Charlotte Hornets. And as you guys can see, it was 2 more categories that I didn't use, and that was relegate to G League and blow it all up. I don't feel like none of these teams are just that bad. I feel like they can be better. And with these last 3 teams, they got a lot of young pieces. So I can't say regulate to the G League, because they do need time to build. But y'all see the roster, man. Y'all see it. Let's just recap it. As the number 1 seed, I have the Boston Celtics. As the number 2 seed, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. As the 3 seed, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. As the number 4 seed, I have the Brooklyn Nets. As the 5th seed, I have the Miami Heat. As the 6th seed, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. As the 7th seed, I have the New York Knicks. As the 8th seed, I have the Atlanta Hawks. As the 9th seed, I have the Chicago Bulls. As the 10th seed, I have the Indiana Pacers. As the 11th seed, I have the Toronto Raptors. 12th seed, I have the Washington Wizards. 13th seed, I have the Detroit Pistons. 14th seed, I have the Orlando Magic. And as the 15th and the worst team on in the Eastern Conference, I have the Charlotte Hornets. Now, if you enjoyed this video, like the motherfucking video, comment on the motherfucking video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications, and I'm out. Peace.